Closing the eyes, finding a comfortable seat. You can be sitting up on something, maybe sitting up on a block or on a cushion or something. It's nice to have the hips a little bit higher than the knees to help the low back and the spine be nice and long and straight. And then just feeling the sit bones grounding down to the earth. Lengthening the spine, relax the shoulders. Lengthening the back of the neck as the chin comes down slightly. And then floating the crown of the head towards the sky, nice tall spine. So just feeling the sense of arriving here this morning on your yoga mat. Just beginning to draw the awareness inward, drawing the awareness to the breath. Slowing down the breath, slowing down the mind, using the breath as this anchor to bring you back into the present moment. And then inhale, circle the arms all the way up, reaching up through the fingers. As you exhale, draw the palms together, down through center in front of the heart, and just taking a moment to open with an intention, creating an intention for your practice. Maybe a dedication, maybe something you want to bring into your life, maybe a state of being you want to manifest. You can stay with this nice, slow, deep breathing, maybe breathing into the belly, feeling the fullness of the breath. Or you can move into the Ujjayi breath, finding low restriction at the back of the throat, hearing the breath like the waves at the ocean. Relaxing the jaw. And then gently opening the eyes, taking the hands down towards the thighs. And we'll come onto all fours, hands and knees. So if you're sitting on anything, you can just move that off to the side. And then spread the fingers wide, shoulders over the wrists, hips over the knees. Inhale, as you lift the tailbone, rolling through the spine. Nice long inhale, gazing forward. Push the floor away, arching the back. And exhale, moving from the tailbone, tuck the tailbone, rolling through the spine, one vertebrae at a time, chin to chest. Inhale, lift the tailbone, rolling through the spine. Trying to keep the breath flowing so we're never holding the breath. And exhale, tuck the tailbone, rolling through the spine, rounding the back. Draw the chin to the chest, draw the back of the heart up towards the sky, and push the floor away. So just a couple more in your own time, just working with your breath, so everybody might be a little bit of a different speed. So just flowing with the breath. So already creating a little bit of this vinyasa. The word vinyasa means movement with the breath. So we're never holding the breath. Just really feeling the flow of the energy. Good, coming back to center. Walk the hands over to the right and then take the hips down towards the left heel, just stretching out that left side body into the left side of the low back and the hips. Letting the head and neck relax. And then lifting the hips to come back up, walk the hands over to the left and just gently shift the hips down towards the right, breathing into that right side body. Good, inhale back to center. And then taking a child's pose, knees come wide to the side of the mat, big toes touch, sink the hips back, child's pose. 3 breaths here. You can either have the arms straight out in front or you can bring the arms back alongside the legs if you like, resting the shoulders. And you can always come back into child's pose anytime throughout the practice. Take a breath, breathe. Good. Walking the arms back forward. Come back up through all fours. And then tuck the toes under. Lift the knees so the knees are just hovering. Draw the belly up and in. Really think strong through the core. Legs are engaged. Push the floor away. The arms are straight. Good. A little rounding of the back as you really draw the belly up. Knees are just a couple of inches off the mat. Good. One more breath. And then begin to shift the hips back. Downward facing dog. Keep the knees a little bent to start and just pedal out the feet, bending one knee, pressing the other heel back. Switching side to side. Maybe the hips sway side to side, just waking up the body. Shaking the head and neck. So feet are hip width apart and hands about shoulder width. Press firmly into all 10 fingers and spread the fingers wide.
taking a little bit of weight off the heel of the hand, so protecting the wrist here. And then you can either keep the knees a little bent, if the low back is rounding, or begin to straighten the legs, lift the kneecaps, really pressing the heels towards the mat, strong through the legs, strong through the core. Draw the belly up and in. Little external rotation in the shoulders. Draw the triceps in towards each other, and then push the floor away as if you're stretching out the mat. So a really long line from the hands to the sit bones, and from the sit bones to the heels. Good, one more breath here. And then as you inhale, lift up onto the toes, rolling forward as you round the back. High plank, shoulders come over the wrists. Good, exhale, use the core and shift back, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift up onto the toes, rounding the back, rolling forward. High plank, shoulders come over the wrists. Exhale, rounding the back, lift back, downward facing dog. Good. Inhale, float forwards, high plank. And this time, modified side plank so the right knee can come down, spin onto the right hand, left arm towards the sky. Maybe left arm reaches up and overhead, lengthening that left side body. And then left hand comes down, high plank, and shifting sides. Left knee comes down. Inhale, right arm reaches, and exhale, side plank, reaching up and overhead. And then hand comes down to the mat. Good, back into your downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg extends up behind. Keep the hips square, flex the foot, spread the toes and press to the ball of that foot. So a really strong back leg, internal rotation of that back inner thigh. Good, inhale as you lengthen. As you exhale, draw the knee to the nose, rounding the back, nose back to knee. Shoulders come forward into a plank. Good, inhale, straight leg. Three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose, rounding the back, shoulders come forward. Curl the nose back to the knee as well. Inhale, extending back. Exhale, knee to nose, rounding the back. Good, inhale, extend. And exhale, knee to nose, hold it forward this time. Straighten the right leg out to the left and spin onto the right hand, spin onto the left foot. Fall in triangle. So left arm towards the sky, lifting up through that right hip. Maybe left arm reaches up and overhead, lengthening the left side body. Good, strong through that right arm. And then left hand comes down to the mat. Inhale, three-legged dog. And exhale, draw the knee to the nose. Lightly step the right foot forward. Good, left hand stays down, right arm towards the sky as you find a twist. So the right knee's over the ankle. Right hip is in line with the right knee, maybe even a little above the right knee to really find support in that right hip. Good. One more full breath here. Draw the belly up away from the thigh. And exhale, right hand to the mat. Step back, high plank. And exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Inhale, left leg extends up behind. Strong through that back leg. Little internal rotation of the back inner thigh, and then lift the leg towards the sky, spread the toes, push the floor away. And as you exhale, shift forward, knee to nose, round the back, keep the foot lifted. Inhale, extend, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose. Good, inhale, extend. And exhale, knee to nose, rounding the back. Inhale, lengthen. This time, exhale, knee to nose, hold it forward. And straighten the left foot out, left leg out to the right, right arm towards the sky, fall in triangle. So spinning onto the sole of the back foot, lifting up through that right arm, left hip rises, and maybe right arm reaches up and overhead, lengthening. And exhale, right hand to the mat. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, draw the knee to the nose, lightly step it through. Stay on the ball of the back foot. The back knee can lower down to modify. You can pad under that back knee if you like. Right hand stays down, left arm towards the sky. Finding a twist. So strong through that left thigh. Left knee's over the ankle. Every inhale here, lengthen. Every exhale, twist. One more breath. And exhale, hand comes down, step back. Downward facing dog. Good. Pedal at the feet. Pressing the heels towards the mat. Inhale, lift up onto the toes, bend the knees, look forward, and exhale, walk up to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back, fingers can come to the mat or on the shins. Exhale, fold, press into the feet, root down, circle the arms and rise, gazing up, open the heart, little back bend here. Exhale, palms to heart center. Inhale, circle the arms up. Exhale, swan dive down, Uttanasana, forward fold. You can soften or bend the knees if you need. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold. Plant the hands, inhale, step back, high plank. Exhale, shift the weight forward so shoulders come over the fingertips. Lower the knees, modified chaturanga. Elbows hug into the side, just halfway down. Upper arm is parallel to the mat, and then come all the way to the mat. Inhale, we'll start with baby cobra. Roll the shoulders back and down, lift the hands up, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Exhale to lower. Inhale, child's pose, knees wide. And exhale, downward facing dog, hips up high. Good. Inhale, lift up onto the toes, bend the knees, look forward. Exhale, walk to the top of the mat or maybe hop lightly. If you're hopping, using the core, keeping the arms straight, hips up high. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Press into the feet, root down, circle the arms and rise. Gazing up, exhale, palms to heart center. And again, inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, hollow the belly, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, plant the hands, inhale, step back, high plank. Exhale, chaturanga. So shift the weight forward, come up onto the tiptoes, shoulders come over the fingertips. Knees can lower down or not, maybe full chaturanga, half push-up, good. Inhale, either a cobra or maybe top of the feet come onto the mat as you scoot the heart forward for upward facing dog. Draw the shoulders away from the ears. And then exhale, either child's pose on the way to downward facing dog or maybe tuck the toes or roll over the feet and toes, downward facing dog. Good, shaking the head and neck, releasing any tension, steady the breath. Inhale, bend the knees out forward. Exhale, walk or hop lightly. Using the core to come forward lightly. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. Press into the feet, root down, circle the arms and rise. Gazing up, exhale, palms to heart center. Bend the knees this time, Utkatasana, chair pose. Shift the weight back into the heels, draw the belly in, lift the toes, shoulders away from the ears. And then exhale, draw the palms to the heart, taking a twist to the right. Left elbow on the outside of the right thigh. Draw the palms towards the heart, heart back up towards the palms. Good, breathing here. Take the gaze down to the right foot. Shift into the right foot and then lift the left leg and extend the left leg back. So strong through that standing leg, keep twisting to the right. And then we're going to lower the back foot down, stay on the ball of the back foot and finding your twist. So the back knee can lower down to modify if you like. If the back knee is lifted, lift the kneecap and really pressing the heel back and drawing the palms towards the heart, heart back towards the palms. Good, really nice deep twist. One more breath. And then rotating up into a high lunge. And we'll turn the back toe, back heel down and come into warrior two from here. So the right knee's over the ankle, pressing into the outside of the back foot. The back foot is facing forward about 45 degrees. And then draw the shoulders back over the hips, gazing over the right middle finger. Draw the shoulder blades together, draw the belly in, strong through the core and the back body. Inhale, flip the palms up, reverse warrior, reaching up and back, lengthening that right side body. And then as you exhale, side angle, right elbow on the right thigh, left arm, either reaches straight towards the sky or maybe up and overhead, reaching towards the front. Good. Good. Keeping some space in that right side body. You can either stay here, maybe the right hand comes down to the mat on the inside of the right foot. Maybe you find a half bind, left arm wraps around the back. Maybe finding a full bind if that feels available. So just listening to your body, taking the variation that feels good and that works for your body this morning. Never pushing, just using the breath to guide you. Good, one more breath. And then unravel wherever you are. Hands come down, frame the front foot. Roll onto the ball of the back foot. Left hand stays down, nice and close to the right hand. And then back into our twist. So easy twist to the right. Good. Turning this into side plank. The left knee can come down, step the right foot around. Or you can roll onto the outside of the left foot, right foot maybe comes in front of the left knee, or stack the feet. So you choose. Holding here, lifting up through that left hip, maybe right arm reaches up and overhead towards the front, palm faces down. A little bit of opening, so maybe even try to find a little twist as you open the heart towards the sky. Good, you can stay here, or maybe flip your dog, right foot comes behind, and find a little heart opening back bend here. Stay on the ball of the right foot if you flipped. Good, one more breath. And then slowly we'll come all the way back around. You can either go straight into downward facing dog or shifting forward, chaturanga, elbows hugging to the side. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Taking a breath here, releasing any tension in the head and neck, softening the gaze, steady the breath. Inhale, lift up onto the toes. Exhale, bend the knees, look forward, hop or maybe walk, but maybe draw the belly up and in if you're hopping, and nice and lightly coming forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, chair pose, Utkatasana. Draw the knees back so you can see the toes if you look down. Shift the weight into the heels. Sit down nice and low. And exhale, Tadasana, straightening the legs. Inhale, Utkatasana. So sit nice and low, sweep the fingers along the mat and then extending the arms up. Good, draw the belly up and in, heart is forward, lifting the toes. And exhale, palms to the heart, we'll twist to your left, this time right elbow on the left thigh. So drawing that right knee back if it's coming forward, keeping the knees in line, that helps to keep the hips square. And then drawing the heart up towards the palms as you twist. Palms towards the heart. So every inhale, feeling that length and expansion. Every exhale, twist. Taking the gaze down to the left foot this time. And then shift the weight into the left foot. We'll lift the back, the right leg, and extend that back leg back. Keep it hovering, keep it lifted. So a little kind of twisted warrior three. For a breath, and then lower the back foot down. Stay on the ball of the back foot, heel is lifted or the back knee can lower down, and keep your twist. So drawing the belly, the heart up away from the thigh. Really feeling that twist coming from the inside out. Nice detoxing twist. Good, one more full breath. And then keep the legs as they are, just spin the arms around. Inhale, high lunge for a breath, and then exhale, spin the back heel down. Maybe a little short, longer stance here, warrior two. So left knee's over the ankle, shoulders are back over the hips. Good, strong through the legs, draw the belly up towards the rib cage, back towards the spine. Good, zipping the inner thighs together, and again, thinking about drawing the shoulder blades towards each other. So arms are extended and nice and strong. Inhale, flip the palms up, reverse warrior. Keep bending that front knee, left arm reaches up and overhead, lengthening the left side. And exhale, side angle, left elbow on the left thigh. Right arm either straight up towards the sky or maybe up and overhead, reaching towards the front. If you're reaching overhead, keep drawing the right shoulder blade back down towards the hip, so strong through that right shoulder. And again, you can either stay here. If you have a little bit more space, maybe the left hand comes down to the mat on the inside of the left foot, or maybe on a block or a cushion, something for support. Maybe a half bind as you wrap the right arm around the back, making sure the chest and that top shoulder is not leaning forward, so not compromising the low back here. Maybe a full bind, left arm comes up and underneath that left thigh if that feels available. Just keep drawing the shoulders, the chest back, head, breathing, Ujjayi breath. Hearing your breath, staying grounded, strong. Good, and then unravel. Hands come down, frame the front foot. Roll onto the ball of the back foot. The back knee can come down to modify. Right hand down and left arm reaches up, finding your twist. Easy twist. And then maybe right knee comes down or just spin onto the sole, the outside of the right foot, and then stacking the feet. So the left foot can come in front of the right knee as a little kickstand, or maybe stack the feet. So side plank Vashisthasana. So we're stacking the shoulders, stacking the hips. Draw the shoulders, the head maybe back a little bit, hips forward. So trying to have everything in one plane. And then maybe left arm reaches up and overhead, reaching towards the front, lifting up nice and high. You can either stay here for another breath, maybe flip your dog, left toes come behind you, open the heart towards the sky, a little back bend here. Good. And slowly we'll come all the way back around, either straight into downward facing dog, or moving through your flow, exhale, shift forward on the tiptoes. Elbows tuck into the side so the elbows are 90 degrees in your chaturanga. Inhale, cobra, knees are down or knees are lifted for upward facing dog. And exhale, maybe rolling over the toes with control, downward facing dog. Breathing here. So take 3 deep breaths here in your downward facing dog. You can always take a child's pose, take the knees down to the mat. Maybe cleansing breaths. Inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Let it all go. 2 more nice deep breaths. Shaking the head and neck. Good. Inhale, lift up onto the toes, bend the knees, look forward. Exhale, walk or hop lightly. Top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, Utkatasana chair. Shift the weight back into the heels, draw the heart open. And exhale, Tadasana, mountain pose. Good. Inhale, this time sweep the arms, come all the way up. Gazing up, open the heart. Exhale, swan dive down. Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, full plant the hands. Either step back, high plank, or if you like to hop back, the hopping back becomes straight into chaturanga. So we never want to hop back into a high plank with a straight elbow. It's a lot of pressure for the elbow. So if you're hopping back, end with bent elbows in chaturanga. And then inhale, open the heart, cobra, roll the shoulders back and down, or upward dog, and exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg extends up behind, keep the hips square. Exhale as you draw the right knee, this time to the right elbow. Keep it forward. Inhale, lower to the wrist. Exhale, squeeze the knee back up to the elbow, nice and high, maybe even above the elbow. Inhale, lower to the wrist. Exhale, squeeze back up. Good, one more. Inhale, lower. Exhale, squeeze. And inhale, 3-legged dog. Exhale, draw the knee to the nose, round the back, and lightly step the right foot forward. Stay on the ball of the back foot, right knee's over the ankle, this time coming all the way up, high lunge. Reaching the arms up, palms face each other, so the right knee's over the ankle. Good. Wrap the arms around the back, interlace the fingers. As you inhale, roll the shoulders back and down, finding a length in the spine, a little back bend here, but try not to crunch in the low back, a little bit bending more from the upper back and more lengthening. Good. As you exhale, we're going to shift forward, coming into a variation of Virabhadrasana 3. So shifting into that right leg, left leg extends back, arms extend back. So a little airplane variation of Virabhadrasana 3, Warrior 3. Hips are square, lowering that left hip. Good. Keep drawing the hands towards that back foot as you open across the chest. You can either stay here or maybe full variation, arms extend straight out in front. Good. One more full breath here. And then bend into the front leg. Step all the way back. High lunge. Take a hold of the left wrist with the right hand. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, taking a stretch to the right. The back knee can lower down to modify. So breathing into that left front of the hip flexors, psoas. Good. One more breath. And then inhale, extend, exhale, palms to the heart. We'll come back into our twist here, left elbow on the outside of the right thigh. And again, you can lower the back knee down to modify. You can stay here or maybe spread the wings this time, maybe going a little deeper, left hand down to the outside of the foot, right arm towards the sky. Maybe right arm reaches up and overhead. So really strong through the legs as you twist. Maybe finding a half bind here. Wrap the right arm around the back. Maybe a full bind if that feels available. Good. Couple more breaths here. Strong through the legs. Every inhale, lengthen, expand. Every exhale, twist. Good. And unravel. Hands come down, frame the front foot, step back. Again, either straight into downward facing dog. You can always skip the flows. Or exhale, shift forward, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra with the knees down. Or upward facing dog, knees lifted. And exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Inhale, left leg extends up behind. Keeping the hips square, spread the toes, strong through that back leg. And exhale, draw the knee to the nose. Knee to the left elbow this time. Good. Hold it forward. Inhale, lower to the wrist. Exhale, squeeze back up to the elbow. Inhale, lower. Exhale, squeeze into that left oblique. Inhale, lower. Exhale, squeeze. And inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, draw the knee to the nose. And lightly step it through. Stay on the ball of the back foot. High lunge this time. So arms extend all the way up. Sinking nice and low. Straight back, that back leg. Lift the kneecap, shoulders away from the ears. Draw the belly in. And then wrapping the arms around the back. Maybe the other thumb is on top as you interlace the fingers this time. Again, lengthening, lift the heart up, draw the hands down the back leg. Just a little heart opening, try not to crunch in the low back. We're more lengthening, opening the chest, the shoulders. And then shifting forward and taking off into your Virabhadrasana 3. So finding your drishti will help with your balance, keep your focus on a spot. Draw the right hip down if it's coming up, so really hips are square. And then the right leg extends straight back. A little bit of a cobra in the chest as you draw the shoulders away from the ears. You can either stay here or maybe extend arms all the way forward. Full variation of Warrior 3. Strong through that standing leg. Good. Lifting up the kneecap and really engaging the leg. One more breath.
And then bend into the front knee, step back, high lunge as you inhale. Take a hold of the left wrist, right wrist rather, with the left hand. Inhale as you lengthen and exhale, reaching up and over to your left. A deep stretch in that right side, all the way up into the right psoas, hip flexor. Again, the back kneecap is lifted if the leg is lifted, or the knee can be on the mat. And then inhale as you lengthen, exhale, palms to the heart, twisting to your left this time. So right elbow on the outside of the left thigh. Again, the back knee can lower down to modify any time. Really strong through that left hip. And then maybe finding, spread the wings, right hand down to the outside of the foot, left arm towards the sky. Maybe a half bind or a full bind, just if that feels available, just an option. Using the breath to guide you. Using this Ujjayi breath to really come back into the present moment. Being fully present with your breath, with your pose, using the breath to find a little bit more space as you exhale, releasing any tension. And unravel, hands come down. Good, step back, high plank again, either straight into downward facing dog or child's pose, or shift forward, elbows hugging, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog, open the heart. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good, taking a breath here, driving the heels towards the mat, shake the head and neck, push the floor away, and breathe. Inhale, lift up onto the toes. Exhale, bend the knees, look forward. Exhale, walk or hop lightly. Top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Then root the feet down. Inhale, circle the arms and rise. Gazing up, open the heart. Exhale, palms to heart center. Shifting into the right foot, coming into a tree pose. Do a couple of standing balances here. So bending the left knee, the toe can just be on the mat, or the sole of the foot can be on the inside of the shin or above the knee, inside of the thigh. So just avoiding the knee, we want to be above or below the knee. Draw the palms to the heart center. Good. Finding your drishti, keeping your focus, and draw the belly up and in, really strong through the core here. Extending the arms up. Good. You can either stay here, maybe take a little side stretch here. Left hand comes down. Gently draw that thigh, inner thigh away. Inhale, lengthening through the right arm, and exhale, maybe a side stretch over to your left. Keep the top shoulder open so we're not leaning forward, just leaning to the left. Good. Maybe the hips sway to the right. And then inhale, strong through that standing leg. Exhale, palms to the heart. Stay on that right leg. I'm going to take the left ankle over the right thigh if that feels okay for the knee. Flex that left foot to protect the knee. And then sit down, so sinking the hips nice and low as you exhale, really using the breath to guide you here. Keep drawing that knee out, figure four. Breathing into that left hip. You can either stay here or maybe fold forwards a little bit. So getting a little deeper and elbows come down towards the shin. Maybe hands come down towards the mat. Shaking the head and neck, releasing any tension in the head and neck. Good. And then if your hands are on the mat, slowly draw the palms back to the heart and inhale as you come all the way back up. Lower the left foot and we'll switch sides, so we're pressing into the left foot. Toe can just be on the mat, the right toes, the heel up towards the inner ankle, or the sole of the foot below the knee on the inner shin or above the knee. So just avoiding the knee, we don't want to be pressing against the knee joint. And then palms to the heart and inhale, reaching the arms up, finding your tree, creating your beautiful branches of your tree. The leg is the roots of the tree, the torso is the trunk, and the arms are like the branches. And then you can either stay here, maybe a little side stretch. Inhale, lengthen through the left arm. And exhale, finding your little side bend over to your right. Letting the hips gently sway to the left. Good. Keeping your focus, your drishti. And inhale, reaching up. Exhale, palms back to the heart. And then bending into that left leg, bend the knee. Right ankle over the left thigh, opening up that right hip. So flex the foot to protect the knee. If anyone has any knee issues, you might just want to come back into a tree or standing Tadasana or maybe a forward fold. So just listening to your body. Bending deeply and then maybe folding forwards, using the breath to guide you. Elbows come down towards the shin. And either stay here and breathe, softening the jaw, steady the breath, or maybe the hands come down towards the mat, straighten out that standing leg if that feels available. Good. And then draw the palms back towards the heart, press firmly into that left foot, slowly with control, come back up, and then lower the right foot to the mat. Inhale, back at the top of the mat if you adjusted, circle the arms up, gazing up, exhale, swan dive down, Uttanasana, forward fold, inhale, halfway lift, exhale, fold. You can either stay in a little forward fold, maybe take a ragdoll, or if you'd like to come into a little crow pose, Bakasana, or even give it a shot. Take the hands a little further apart than shoulder width, so a little wider. First fingers pointing forward, so fingers point out a little bit. Lift up onto the tiptoes so the hips are nice and high, and then bend the elbows and try to find the little shelf on the upper arm, way up as high towards the armpits for the knees. And then just finding that shelf, knees come onto the upper arm, shift the weight forward, the gaze is way forward. So the gaze is like the top of a triangle from the hands to the gaze point. So we're not looking down in between the hands or on the mat, we're looking a little forward. And then just try not to bounce. Coming into crow pose, Bakasana. If the feet lift up, maybe one toe, one foot comes up today. The feet lift up, lift the heels up towards the seat. And really strong through the arms, pelvic floor is engaged, belly draws in. You can either stay there for a few breaths and come back down in between, or you can just stay and breathe. So if you want to come up one more time, you can either here come back down and step back into a high plank, or maybe play with shooting back into a chaturanga again, ending with bent elbows. So a little shift forward a bit more, and then press back the feet, and then moving through your flow, cobra or upward facing dog, and exhale, downward facing dog. Good, shaking out the head and neck. Inhale, right leg extends up behind. This time bend the knees, step the hips, if that feels okay for the hip. And doing some little circles with that right hip. So knee is up to 12 o'clock, foot over to the left. And then switching directions with that right knee. So little circles into the hip, just circling the knee around. Good, as you exhale, taking the right foot to the outside of the right hand, lower the back knee down and draw the heart forward. Inhale. Good. Exhale. Straighten the right leg and come onto the sole of the back foot. Straighten both legs and fold over that front leg. So wide pyramid. Good. Inhale. Lower the back knee. Bend the front knee and coming into your lizard. Good. Exhale. Straighten both legs. Folding forward. Good, one more, inhale, coming forward, and exhale, folding over that front leg, holding here for a couple of breaths. Good, breathing into the back of the legs, and then bend the front knee, and we'll come into a lizard variation here. So you could stay right here, the right knee's over the ankle, back knee is down, maybe draw that right inner thigh away from you.
Or maybe hook the right shoulder, the right arm underneath that right thigh, taking the right hand to the outside of the right foot. So you can either stay here, just a nice breathing into that right hip, maybe come onto the ball of the back foot back, lift the back leg. So strong through that, both legs. And then right arm reaches to the right, left arm to the left. So a little airplane kind of balance here, really deep hip opening. Good. Maybe even wrap the right arm around the back, left arm around the back and finding a bind. Keep the heart open and lifted. Keep strong through that front leg. Good. And then unravel, hands come down. Step back, three-legged dog. Maybe bend the knees, stack the hips again. You can either stay here, do some little circles. Maybe flip your dog again. Right leg comes back around, hips up high. So just opening the front body. And then slowly coming back down. You can either come straight into a downward facing dog. You can move through a vinyasa. And we'll meet in downward facing dog. And move to the other side. So from downward facing dog, inhale, left leg extends up behind. Bend the knees, stack the hips. And again, maybe some little circles with that left knee, just moving into that hip. Good. Switching direction. And then exhale, left foot comes to the outside of the left hand. Lower the back knee down, bend the front knee coming into a lizard and draw the heart forward. So lengthening. Exhale, straighten both legs, draw the hips back, floating forwards. So kind of a wide pyramid again. Inhale, bend the front knee, lower the back knee, heart opens, lizard. And exhale, matching with the breath, pyramid, wide pyramid. One more, inhale, lower the back knee, bend the front knee, opening the heart. Exhale, wide pyramid. We'll hold for a couple of breaths here. Just keep lengthening, so try not to round the back. You can have a little bend or softness in that front knee. You could even have hands on a blocks or on cushion or something to support you if you like. Good. And then bending the front knee, lower the back knee down, and we'll find our lizard here. So you can either stay right here, maybe gently draw that left inner thigh away from you, or wrap the left arm underneath the left thigh. Take the left hand to the outside of the foot, and maybe come onto the ball of the back foot, and then finding your balance here. So really strong through that front leg. Arms extend out to the sides, and then either stay there or maybe wrap the arms around the back. Keep drawing the shoulders, the chest forward, pressing through that back leg strongly. Left leg is really strong and working. Good. Pushing the feet into the mat. One more breath. And then unravel. Hands come down, frame the front foot. Inhale, three-legged dog, left leg extends back up. Bend the knees, stack the hips, maybe some little circles, maybe flip your dog. Reaching up and around, open the heart. Good. And exhale, downward facing dog. Either stay here, maybe moving through a little vinyasa if you like, and we'll meet in downward facing dog. Inhale, lift up onto the toes, bend the knees, look forward. Exhale, walk or hop lightly, using the core to come forward lightly. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Take the feet hip width apart and take the first two fingers, wrap them around the big toes. Inhale as you lengthen the spine. You can bend or soften the knees if you need. Exhale as you fold over the legs. Draw the elbows out to the side and draw the belly down towards the thighs, crown of the head towards the floor, gently releasing the neck. Shifting the weight a little bit into the balls of the feet as you breathe into the back of the legs. Good, Ujjayi breath. And then releasing the hands from the feet. Take the hands behind the heels. So taking the hands in between the feet, and then taking a hold of the heels. And from here, just inhale, lengthen, and exhale, fold. So starting to bend the knees a little bit and get a little bit more into the hips. Good. So you can either stay here, or we're working towards another little arm balance firefly. So we've done a little bit of hip opening to prepare. So you can either stay here or kind of hug the upper arms under the back of the thighs and start to bring the hands down a little behind the heels and out a little wider. So wider than the feet, but a little out. And then maybe shifting the weight back into the hands. So again, you can stay at any point here, just working a little bit more into the hips. And then rocking the hips back as you start to shift the weight back. And the feet may just lift up off the mat, firefly. Good. So maybe the feet lift up, and if they do, maybe straighten the legs. And then you can start to shift the weight a little forward again. So the hips are not too close to the mat. Good. Any variation here. And then slowly with control coming back around. And we'll just come into a deep squat position here. Feet a little wider than hip width, toes pointing out, palms together. If this doesn't feel good, you can sit on something, so you can sit on a cushion or a block. And then draw the elbows against the inner thighs. Spine is nice and tall, heart is open. Good. Just breathe in here. Deep squat malasana, really good for the hips, the low back. And then taking the hands down towards the mat. Lift the hips up, coming back into a forward fold. Feet hip width. Shake out the wrists, and this time the whole hand comes under the feet. Palm faces up. Finding a little counter stretch in our wrist as the toes press up towards the heel of the hand. Let the head and neck release down and relax. And breathe. Good. And then slowly releasing the hands from the feet, taking the hands onto the hips. And we'll come all the way up with a flat back. Draw the belly up and in. Good. Coming back to the top of the mat. Inhale, circle the arms up. Gazing up. Open the heart. Exhale, swan dive down. Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, full plant the hands. Step back, high plank. Or hop back. Chaturanga. If you're in your high plank, exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Good. From here, keep the hips high, but just take the forearms down onto the mat for dolphin. So the forearms are down, the forearms are parallel. The palms face down, palms and elbows are shoulder height. And then you can either stay there or maybe begin to walk the feet in a little bit closer towards the elbows. Pushing the floor away with the forearms, the hands. Good. Draw the belly up and in. And then you can either stay here, maybe right foot comes into the middle, left leg extends towards the sky. Maybe a couple of little hops here as you take the gaze down in between the forearms. Good. Exhale, lower down. Left foot into the middle, right leg extends up. Maybe a couple of little hops here. Finding a little bit more weight in the hands and the forearms. Exhale to lower down. Good. One more breath here. Trying to keep the hands at shoulder width. They're going to want to splay in. And then walking the feet all the way out, coming into your forearm plank. So here the forearms can be parallel or maybe interlace the fingers. Elbows under the shoulders. Hands towards each other. Good. And then maybe inhale, right toes come up off the mat. Maybe left arm reaches forward. Challenging your core. Strong through the whole body. Good. Exhale to lower the right foot, lower the left arm. And then switching sides, inhale, left foot comes up. Just a few inches, right arm reaches forward. Really strong through the core. Good. Exhale to lower down. And slowly coming all the way down. We'll stay on the forearms, coming into Sphinx pose. So the hips, the legs come onto the mat. Top of the feet on the mat. And then hands again are shoulder width as you inhale, draw the heart forward. Good. You can either stay here. Again, try to bend a little bit more from the upper back, so we're not just crunching in the low back. Keep lengthening the heart forward, lengthening the spine. This is a great little Sphinx pose, or maybe lift the elbows, the forearms up off the mat. Keep drawing the elbows in so the elbows are not going to splay out. And then draw the shoulders away from the ears. And again, heart draws up and forward, pushing the floor away. Good. Maybe taking the gaze over the right shoulder, stretching out the left side of the neck, and then back through forward, switching sides, gazing over the left shoulder. Good. Keep drawing the shoulders away from the ears, back forward, and then exhale, slowly lower all the way down. Take the hands under the shoulders, tuck the toes, press back, coming into a child's pose. So the knees are nice and wide, belly rests down in between the thighs, forehead rests down, arms extend either out in front, or maybe if the shoulders are starting to get a little tired, your arms can come back alongside the legs and breathe. Just noticing any sensation in the body, any tension. And noticing where the mind has maybe wandered to, any judgments about yourself, your practice. Just noticing with no judgment and just letting go of anything that doesn't serve you. Just breathing out on the exhale any thoughts or judgments or any tension. Just really finding this place within of ease and softness. And then we'll come up onto a kneeling position. So coming onto your knees, if that feels okay for the knees. If it doesn't, maybe pad under the knees, or you can just come into a seat. You can either stay there, or you can take the heels to the side of the hips. Maybe roll the calves out a little bit, so you've got a little space. And your seat may come down. You can, again, sit on something. So you could sit on the edge of a blanket or a cushion, or maybe on a block. Or if the seat comes down to the mat, that's fine. You don't need anything under it. So again, you can sit here, nice little stretch in the quadriceps. Hero pose, or if you'd like to go a little deeper, maybe walk the hands back. So we're stretching out all this area in the quads, the hip flexors, the psoas, the front body. Maybe coming back onto the elbows. And then if anybody has a deeper variation, again, if you have cushions or a bolster, you could place that under your back here if you like. Or you could come all the way down onto the mat if that feels available. Just really using the breath to guide you. You might feel a little bit sensation. It might be too much for the low back, so just noticing. And wherever you are, just being fully present with your choice of your pose, your variation, and just taking a couple of breaths here, breathing, releasing any tension in the front, the legs. And then feel all the way down on your back, slowly coming back up onto the elbows and come all the way back up. And then we'll just come onto all fours and we'll come all the way onto a seat on your mat. Good. Extending the legs out long. Taking the legs nice and wide, toes pointing up, kneecaps lifted, and then take the fingers behind the hips. As you inhale, slide the heels a little further forward, lift the hips up. So lifting the hips and sliding, getting nice, deep, wide stretch. And then taking the hands in front of you, and then gently begin to fold forwards, maybe walking the fingers forward, maybe coming down onto the elbows. So wherever you reach, trying to, again, keep the spine long, so we're not just rounding the back, trying to keep the spine long and reaching forward. Toes are pointing up, so the toes are not splaying in. And really nice deep stretch in the inner thighs, maybe into the hamstrings, the back of the legs. Heart is drawing forward. You can either stay here with the arms reaching out forward, or maybe take the hands to the feet if that feels available. It's a little more challenging, a little more intense, so just really using the breath to guide you, not forcing anything. Always finding this balance between effort and ease in our practice, in our body, in our life. All of these teachings and everything we learn on the yoga mat, using the breath, finding ease, balance between effort and ease, just really settling in, not judging ourselves, not judging our posture. They all translate to different parts of our life. We can be using these teachings and learnings in every moment and every action in our life. Good. And then slowly beginning to walk the fingers back towards the shin. Take the hands on the outside of the thighs and draw the legs together. Good. Taking the right knee over the left and then bend the left knee. So we're going to come into cow face. Little hip opening here. Yeah, I like to lift my hips up. Shift the weight forward, bring the hands in front, and then hug that right knee over the left, taking the feet to the side so the seat might be down in between the heels. Inhale as you lengthen. You can either exhale and fold forwards here. That might be enough if you just want to get into the hips. Or you could take the left arm up, pressing the left elbow down, keep drawing the head back, and then maybe finding the arm variation, maybe wrapping the right arm around the back, taking a hold of the hands, or if you have a strap or a belt, you can use that in the hands. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, fold. So keeping the shoulders back and open, and just breathing here deeply into the hips. Good. Belly comes down towards that right thigh. Again, keeping the length so we're not rounding the back. And just using the inhale to breathe in more prana, more life force energy, more strength, more space, and using the exhale just to let go. Release any tension, release any thoughts that don't serve you. And just really keeping this sense of ease and flow in the body and the mind. Good. And then slowly inhale to come back up, unravel the arms, and then unravel the legs. And we'll switch sides, so right knee bends this time, left knee over the right. So trying to get the knees stacked. It doesn't matter if they don't. One knee might be way up. You might be kind of more in a seated twist position. That's okay. If you can, trying to draw the feet back on either side of the hips. And then you can either stay here and fold forwards, breathing into that left hip, or maybe right arm comes up, bending the elbow, pressing the elbow down, get a nice deep stretch in the tricep, and then left arm comes up and around, maybe taking a hold of the hand with a belt or a strap. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, fold. Good. Reaching forward, lengthening, deep stretch in the hips. Good. Couple more breaths here. Maybe just noticing a difference in sides here. One side often a little different from the other. No judgment, no reason, doesn't matter why. Just really settling into this inner space of stillness with the breath. Good. And then inhale as you slowly come back up. Unravel the legs. Taking the soles of the feet together, Baddha Konasana. Heels can be up towards the groin or a little further away. Take the hands on the feet and then inhale, lift up onto the seat, sit bones, and keep the spine long. Exhale, folding forwards. Elbows maybe press on the inner thighs, reaching the heart forward. And you can keep the hands on the feet or maybe walk the hands forward and just let the head and neck release down. Breathing into the low back, the hips. Deep stretch. there any tension in the low back or the hips or the inner thighs? And then inhale as you slowly come back up. Take the hands on the outside of the thighs, draw the knees together, and extend the legs out straight. Coming down onto your back, one vertebrae at a time. Drawing the shoulders down away from the ears. Draw the belly down towards the spine, strong through the core, and head comes down last. Taking the soles of the feet on the mat, we'll come into a series of back bends. So we'll do 3 little bridges here, or option to go into a wheel. If you have a block or something, a cushion or something, you can take the feet and knees hip width, so the fingers can just brush alongside the back of the heels. As you inhale, press into the feet, lift the hips. You could take a supported bridge if you want to place a block under the sacrum area, the top of the pelvis, so it could be right here. Or taking the block in between the inner thighs and squeeze the block as you lift up, finding that internal rotation of the inner thighs, and then draw the shoulders under the torso and interlace the fingers under the hips. Good. Pressing into the feet firmly, pressing into the shoulders, lift the hips nice and high, and breathe. Drawing the chin back away from the chest, chest towards the chin. Finding a little more space, opening the heart. Keep the gaze straight up so we're not shifting the neck side to side. It's a lot of pressure for the neck to do that. One more breath. Even squeezing the heels back on the mat towards the hips, you'll notice the back of the legs and the glutes engage. Good. And then slowly, arms come along to the side, 1 vertebrae at a time, lowering down. You can take the feet wide, knees together. If the hips were on the block, you could stay there the whole time if you like, because it's a little more restful. And then we'll do 2 more. So when you're ready, feet and knees back to hip width. Inhale, lifting up, maybe having the block in between the inner thighs. Even if you don't have anything in between the inner thighs, you could take a cushion or a bolster or a blanket or something. But even thinking about drawing the inner thighs towards each other, feeling that internal rotation. They're not going to touch, the knees are going to stay hip width, but there's just that sense of internal rotation, really protecting the low back and the sacrum. You can stay here, maybe this time draw the right foot into the middle. Inhale, draw the left knee to the chest and extend the leg towards the sky. Good, spread the toes. Exhale, lower the left foot down, switching sides. Press into the left foot, inhale, right knee draws to the chest and then straighten the leg. Good, hips up high, and exhale, lowering down. And then slowly, 1 vertebrae at a time. Feet wide, knees come together, releasing the low back. And we'll do 1 more back bend. So again, you can take the block under the sacrum, lifting up into the hips, finding your bridge pose. You can stay right here, you can do 1-legged again, just keeping the hips high. Or if you have a wheel in your practice, you'd like to come into wheel, hands come under the shoulders, fingertips point towards the feet, inhale, lift up onto the head, and then exhale, straighten the arms, opening the chest for your wheel pose. So again, feet are hip width, keep maybe a little bit of that, again, internal rotation, so drawing the knees may want to splay out. Keep drawing the knees in, so really engaging that inner thighs. The knees are going to be hip width. And then if you're in your wheel, maybe lifting up onto the tiptoes, maybe walking the feet back towards the hands or the hands towards the feet, letting the head and neck relax. And then if you're in your wheel, walking the feet back towards the front of the mat, and everybody gently, 1 vertebrae at a time, coming all the way back down onto your mat. Taking the soles of the feet together, Supta Baddha Konasana. Knees roll out to the side, 1 hand on the belly, 1 hand on the heart, closing the eyes. And just coming back to your breath, noticing the breath as the belly rises and falls. And just noticing the heartbeat under the hand, coming back to your center. The word yoga means union, so really finding this union, this connection in everything in your life. Taking the hands on either side of the thighs, draw the knees together, draw the knees into the chest, give yourself a gentle squeeze. Rocking side to side, maybe some little circles, releasing the low back. And then we'll come into an inversion. So a few options for an inversion. You can, if you have a block or a cushion, you can take the feet down to the mat again, bend the knees, and then lift the hips up and take the cushion or a bolster or a block under the hips and extend the legs straight up. Or you could take the hips up towards the wall and find legs up the wall, extending the legs up. So that would be the first variation of a nice inversion, getting upside down. If you would like to come into shoulder stand, just making sure you don't have any neck or shoulder issues. This is definitely not advisable if you have any neck or shoulder issues. Extending the legs up, hands come under the hips, and then lifting, pressing into the mat as you lift. Coming into a cloud pose first. Legs extend all the way back overhead. Toes may or may not reach the mat. And then hands come onto the low back. Draw the elbows in towards each other and draw the hands down towards the shoulders, coming into your shoulder stand as you extend the legs up. Good. Drawing the hips back towards the chest and draw the feet maybe a little bit away from you, just so that we're in a nice straight line. Typically the feet kind of stay over the head and the hips are way back. So trying to have a nice straight line. Again, keeping the gaze straight up, creating a little bit of space in the back of the neck, not shifting the neck side to side. So you can stay in your shoulder stand for a few breaths. If anyone would like to play with a little headstand, only if that's in your practice, because obviously I can't help you, or if you have a wall. So I'll just guide you into a little headstand, a little bit more of an energizing inversion if you'd like to do a headstand. Interlace the fingers so the palms face you, nice and tight, and then take the palms, the interlaced fingers on the back of the head, the crown of the head, the top of the head, the back area of the head is going to come onto the mat. Elbows hug in, so the elbows are under the shoulders, and placing that top of the head on the mat with our hands pressing against the back of the head. Lifting the hips up, come onto the tiptoes, and then walking the feet towards the head. If you haven't done this before, this is probably not advisable on your own. Just really listen to your body and making sure that you are comfortable. You could do this in front of the wall. Walking the feet up towards you, and then the hips may come back over the head, and then begin to maybe straighten the legs. So try not to bounce. If you bounce, you're going to have a lot of momentum. So just nice and easy. Keep hugging the hands towards the back of the head. Shoulders away from the ears. Draw the belly in, really strong in the core. And just holding for a few breaths if you can. As you come back down, I'm just demonstrating, just shift the hips back over behind the head. And then again, we'll just be nice like a balance. So just very, very slowly, strong through the core, and then coming slowly back down. So try not to bounce. If you came into your headstand, try coming into a child's pose afterwards, forehead rest down. And if you're in your shoulder stand, you can come back into plie pose, extending the legs back overhead, and then slowly rolling down one vertebrae at a time. Good. And then we'll all come down onto your back again. If your hips were on a block or legs up the wall, just lifting the hips up, removing the block, coming down onto your back, and then drawing the arms under the back of the legs. Legs are straight. Coming into a fish pose as you lift up onto the elbows and extend the head back, opening the chest, the throat chakra. So particularly if you're in your shoulder stand, this is a nice counter pose. Good. Breathing here, and then slowly releasing and coming all the way down onto your back. Draw the knees into the chest. Wrapping the right knee over the left. Arms come out in a T shape, and take both knees over to the left, just finding a little spinal twist. You can shift the hips a little over to the right of the mat to get a little bit of a deeper twist, and maybe Gazing gently over the right shoulder if that feels okay for the neck. Not forcing any cervical spine twists, so just really honoring your body and breathing into the twist. Good. And then slowly draw the knees back up through center. Shift the hips a little over to the left, and then left knee crosses over the right and draw the knees over to the right, finding a little twist. Maybe gentle gaze over the left shoulder. Good. And then slowly unraveling, coming back through center. Draw the knees into the chest, squeezing everything in. Nice, deep, loving hug. Thanking yourself and your body for making it to your yoga mat today, for practicing, for really supporting your health, your immune system, your state of being, and also supporting others. When we're practicing yoga, we're not just doing it for ourselves. We're cultivating this new state or this inner state of peace and calm, and kindness and love that will help ourselves and others. Take a happy baby just to finish. Feet wide, knees wide, gently rocking side to side. The hands can be on the back of the thighs or on the feet. Just finding balance. And then taking a deep inhale, squeezing the knees to the chest, and exhale, Shavasana, resting pose. So just letting the feet gently roll out to the side, arms a little away from the body, palms face up. Open to offer up the energy we've cultivated today in our practice and to receive any energy and wisdom from the universe. Relaxing the jaw, softening the muscles in the face, letting the eyes be heavy. And just scanning the body, letting the whole body just be heavy, melt into the earth. Finding this stillness in the whole physical body. Maybe this stillness in the mind as well. The mind is still wandering, drawing the awareness to the third eye, area of intuition and wisdom, in between the eyebrows, visualizing a bright white light at that space.